Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about situational analysis. Okay, so situational analysis is not your typical technical analysis or fundamental analysis. Situational analysis is based off market behavior that you have observed. Okay, so maybe you trade a particular pair and it could be you've realized that every time Wednesday is high, okay, it's taken when price opens on Thursday, price would trade into 50% of Wednesday and break the open or move higher about maybe 100 pips. So once it trades into 50%, you're looking to make 100 pips move. Okay, now you've observed that this keeps repeating itself on that pair. So it becomes situational analysis based off a situation. Okay, this is what's happening. Do we get it? Now situational analysis can vary, okay, based off maybe it could be situational analysis may work for just maybe a month, 3 months, it could be just a week. It could be as a result of news impacts that have been coming that you realize that this is what keeps happening. That okay, because of this news being released every day, or because of this particular tariff, because of what is happening currently, every day this is what's happening on the space. So that's situational. It's based off your observation on the market, right? I want to explain something about gold's movement during all-time highs. Okay, so I actually learned this from my mentor, my idol actually. So I followed him, Tony Ike, and he said he gave an explanation. So I just decided to make a video about it. Now, there's the thing that whenever gold breaks uh, a previous all-time high, okay. So if this was your previous all-time high and gold should break it, and it moves, it keeps moving. Sometimes you don't even get retracements, but then all of a sudden you get a large sell. How did that happen? Now, if you observe, when I checked, whenever gold breaks an all-time high, a previous all-time high, and it moves about 800 pips, it will give you a retracement about 700 pips, 600 to 700 pips. Then it continues again. Now, that retracement may not be expected in a day or two. It can happen maybe after a week or something. It may not also happen. Okay, but this is what um I observed also on the market when I went to study what he had explained. So let's just hop onto the chart for a practical example. Okay, so there's a gold chart, right? So I called a cell on my WhatsApp. Uh, so I want to basically explain how this goes. Now, a situational analysis is not based off technicals. Do we get? So how is that so? We will be expecting retracements, right? So uh previously previous all-time high was this, right? So now you want to expect when you have a retracement. When price breaks it, as I said, I observe anytime price breaks an all-time high, it moves about 800 pips, right? 800 pips, then you get a retracement. So your 800 pips range was, so after the break you have a move this 1000 pips to 800, but this was 1000 pips. Then it's what it gave you a sell off, it gave you a retracement from that level here to here. That's what 680 pips. As I said, about 700 pips retracement. Now this was a new high, right? Now if you observe, when price broke here, it moved what, that's 800 pips range. Do you get it? And after that 800 pips range, give us a sell. And when you calculate the sell was um 620 pips. So that's what I say, and between 600 pips to 700 pips retracement. Now price broke it. It broke and gave us a new all-time high. But this movement was just about 200 to 300 pips. Do we get just to 290 pips? Then it retraced a lot back to the support. So it retraced a lot back to the support. That's 700 pips. Now this is our new all-time high, right? Now when price broke this all-time high, that 800 pips movement, then it now retraced from there down 700 pips. You have that your 700 pips movement from the high. After that retracement, price broke from here. You have price breaking from here. You have price breaking and giving us that this push was 800 pips, right? After the 800 pips, price gave us what? A pullback of what? The same 700 pips range we are looking at. Good. And now after moving down there, testing of those supports there, is it gave us a push of what? 900 pips to 1000 pips. After that 1000 pips, it now give us a push. That was a drop on this drop was on Thursday. Yes, that was a drop on Thursday. That was about 600 pips. Yes, so that's 600 to, yes, 600 to 700 pips, as I said. Now once you know this is possible to happen, if you decide to jump into a trade after that 700 or 8, after that 800 pip movement without any reason, you would have to risk quite a lot. Like you have to have a large um, risk, right, to be able to accommodate you. But how can you go about this if you want to just trade it off normal? That's where your technical analysis comes inside. So you realize that there's an inducement. Okay, you go on a lower time frame, I think 5 minutes or so. When you go on the lower time frame on the 5 minutes, you would have your your structure shift here and the pullback, right? And a valid order block here towards the all-time high, right? Now you realize there are a lot of orders here. So this is the thing. When price came, it took out the all-time high, created a new all-time high, and now started selling that aggressive move to give us that 700 pips. So if you wanted to take this, which I called, was because I noticed the structure shifts, the inducement, and that coupled with the situational analysis. Do you get it? Now, if you place your stop loss here, you'll be taken out. You have to give room to it because this is so liquidity, right? We know that this is so liquidity, buy side and sell side liquidity. So when price takes buy side, you go for sell side. When price takes sell side, you go for buy side. Good. So after the pullback and it respects the order block, it decided to take the high out, create a new all-time high, and now so. But if you just assume that okay, after the 800 pips move, I should be expecting a sell, then maybe you placed your sell here. Price gave us all this before now coming down here. You realize that you'd have a large risk. You get it? So basically, this is situational analysis. I hope you guys understood, and may the Lord give you understanding. Stay tuned for more videos. Okay, bye.